answers on how to fix that. 9 times out of 10, the errors are something simple, like the ash bin is full. It'll give you 3 warnings, and it'll shut itself down. Because it looks at itself, and if it can't put any ashes up in there, it won't feed no pellets in.
Okay.
Could you show how we empty the ash bin? Just, I know you showed it to me, it's just pretty simple.
The mechanical guy was supposed to hang this on the wall. We gave him a hanger and everything for it, but I see he hasn't. This is the hanger that needs to go up.
Okay.
This will hang from there.
Okay.
These are the bags that they give you to put in here to dump your ashes in. You're welcome to use them. Don't fill them all up because they are pretty.
Yeah.
They're reusable things. They're recycled things.
Yeah.
So most people we find don't use the bags because they bring it right out to the garden and then they can pick this up easily and take it somewhere.
Yeah. Okay.
All the ashes are excellent for the garden. All the pictures are right here on how to operate this.
Okay.
Okay? That lever goes down. When that lever goes down, it pushes a switch here to tell the unit we're taking this off. I move the lever over, and that lever just closed that ball valve down so we can pick it up.
It doesn't come
The
spinning down
ashes
all
come through the auger and they get pushed up into here. Usually about every 2 weeks, you get into a routine. This comes over, sits on top of that. You take this lever from the pictures, you turn it all the way around, the flapper comes down, lets the pellets out. After you hear that, you move the lever back to that position, then you stick the little P2 in the hole, put your lever back. Now what you did is you lock this in and you open that ball valve back up and close this back.
And it's not, none of that's gonna close if you don't put the lever over, I'm assuming.
That's right. That's right. So if you leave that like that, the machine knows.
Yeah. Yep.
And you can't,
Right.
you know.
Okay.
So what I did is I turned the green button on and we're going through a cycle. The first thing it did is there's a day hopper here that holds 4 or 5 bags of pellets. There's a sensor at the top of it. Right now that sensor has a light on it saying I'm full because you haven't ran the unit. Otherwise, when you first turn the unit on, it's going to suck and fill its bin. Then it will go to de-ashing and bringing ashes in. And at the same time, it's got an exhaust fan and it's got a ingoing fan, and those fans are working together with the pellets are going up, and you got an igniter in there, and it's igniting the pellets that are on top of the burner. So that's all just a normal cycle. It'll come up to its operating temperature, and that's all in here. That's your home page. We brought this up. These are the items that you normally look at. I gotta put my glasses on here.
When this reads any sort of problem, I'm assuming there's a certain degree of problem that it sends the message to this company or something. Like if I have to empty the ash bucket, it's not going to send them a message that I have to empty
No,
the
it's
ash
going to come
bucket.
up here on the screen.
Yeah, okay.
So somebody needs to come down here once a day, once a week, and just pop this up, and this will be a blank screen. All you have to do is touch on it. This will come up.
Oh, got it.
So
Okay.
it'll tell you your temperature. It'll tell you that right now the boiler mode is in ignition. So it's feeding pellets up into the burner. There's an igniter down there that's pushing 370 degrees onto the pellets, and once that gets ignited and gets up to 212 in the middle, it will stop ignition and go into ignited. And then it will go into a soft start, which just keeps bringing the pellets up softly until it comes up to its operating temperatures. The operating temperatures, I think, are between 180 and 185 degrees, normal. The only thing I guess you need to know is this tool, when you come down and empty your ashes out every 2 weeks, and it doesn't have to be every 2 weeks, I know that these bins hold 3 tons of burnt pellets full of ashes. So in the summertime, I don't empty mine at all, but then the wintertime, I come down and every 2 weeks, it's probably right up to here, I'll just get in the habit of emptying it. So when you empty out the ashes, what you want to do is you need to open this thing up and you need to stick the tool in there and scrape the burner down, okay? And that's if there's a volcano in here. And then what I do is I stick it up and I ring the bell. Ringing the bell that's a secondary heat exchanger. That's where it introduces air to the second burn. After a few weeks of burning, it collects some ashes on there. You knock them down and that totally keeps your holes clean. Otherwise, to the end of the year, it doesn't burn as clean as it does right now. That's the only thing that we find about these. We just knock them. And that's all that there is for the maintenance. Now, to answer your question about will somebody send me a message? Yes, this can send you a message. You can plug this in with a Cat 5 cable, come out through the back and up through, and go to your router. Then this will stream out to whatever address you give it. Normally we put my email in there, Dan's email in there, and the client's email in there. So if there's issues such as the pellets, no pellets, or this is messing up, it'll automatically email you. Any error message will automatically tell you what's going on. So then we can actually go online and restart it from online. You don't have to come here and push a button.
Okay.
You can acknowledge that error and it will restart itself.
Okay.
So 9 times out of 10 it's that. And then the other capability is you can stream out and it shows you all the vital signs. It tells you exactly what the temperature is, if your pump is on, if you're circulating water, whatever mode it's in, all the vital signs are right there. So you can read what it's doing all the time. And that gives you indication of maybe what the issue was when it does come up.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't had very many issues at all. We've got 100 of these things out there. They're really, really impressive.
Could you briefly explain the panels we removed to get the cat cable in, because they were kind of deaf about it.
2 screws right here.
Right.
And we always leave these loose. There's no need to tighten them down. We just set them right here in the panel.
Right.
And as you can see, there's just 2 clips that it clips right in the bottom and,
Right.
and pins. Right here is your Cat 5.
Okay, got it.
So you're going to go back through here.
Right.
You're going to take the top off and fish it up through, go out. There's another hole where that wires come down.
Yeah.
Go through the unit, up through the top, and go out there and go up to your router.
And the top comes off with a bunch of screws similar to what
No
you do.
screws, it just pops right up.
Oh, okay.
Just pops right up like that. See, you got a chaseway right in here,
Yeah.
a wire
Right.
raceway.
Yep.
So bring your wire in through that raceway.
Right, got it.
It keeps away from any heat over
Yeah.
here.
Does it drop down inside that gray panel there? Or?
It does, it
Yeah.
does. You'll be able to fish from here to there pretty
Okay,
easy.
okay, got it.
And that's how you clean the unit too. I don't know if you're gonna have Borns.
Yeah.
If you do, they have to go over to the school. If you don't go over to the school and get trained on these, they're not gonna have a warranty for you.
There you go.
Borns?
Yeah, whoever is gonna maintenance this
Yeah.
on a yearly basis needs to go to Maine.
Oh no, they just had it. Jim Curley just had a training. He just told me
Okay.
on this machine.
Okay,
Yep.
so they've been over to Maine.
Yep.
Okay, so you won't have any warranty issues, and they should know how to clean the unit, which is pretty simple.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
That's pretty much it.
That's pretty much it. You just need to retain this paperwork.
We will.
You're missing a wiring diagram, but that's no big deal.
Does
It's in
the
book.
manufacturer have that in PDF form online? We can just download it as well?
Yeah, that's right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Okay.
Anything to do about this is online. The model number's in the back. It's a 56, which will put out 199,000 BTUs.
Right. How long is the startup phase and the ignition that in your experience? Like 3-4 minutes maybe? 5?
The ignition is between 7 and 8 minutes.
Okay.
Okay. And then coming up to temperature is about another 8 to 10 minutes.
Right.
So normally within 15 to 18 minutes, you're up to temperature. When you get up to 140 internal, your circulator will pull on if there's a call for heat.
Right.
If there's no call for heat, there's 3 modes you can set this on: off,
Yeah.
automatic, and on. I've got it in the automatic. They've got a controller over there that when there's a call for heat, it'll bring the unit on.
Right, got it.
When there's no call for heat, the unit's just going to set here and slowly work its way down.
What's the tank capacity inside the unit, the heat exchanger? Just a couple gallons? Or?
No. There's about 54 gallons in
Okay.
here.
Right.
Yeah, it's more of a high volume.
Right.
And that's where that works with the heating system, where it doesn't need a separate storage tank.
Yeah, it might pull some heat off of that 55 gallons if it needs it.
Yep.
And then when that temperature drops, this thing may fire on its own. Keep
Yes.
some hot water in reserve.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
that's good to
It
know.
will. It modulates. When
Right.
there's a call for heat, it's going to maintain its operating temperature, which I believe is between 170 and 180 degrees.
Right.
When there's no call for heat, it will allow the temperature to go down to 0.
So-
Room temperature.
Right. So the last couple days, there's been 170-degree water sitting there ready to go.
No, it's been off.
Okay.
It's in the automatic position. The only time this will heat up is
Yeah.
if there's a call for heat from a thermostat.
Right, okay.
Otherwise, it's going to sit there and be room temperature.
All right.
So
So
that's
when you
what-
get into cold weather, it'll probably be in the back, that setback stage where there'll be hot water sitting there ready to be pulled, and then it will ignite and send more hot water to that tank. Something like that.
Well, only if you put it in the on position.
Right.
It will maintain that temperature, whether there's something calling for heat or not.
Okay.
What we've found out of the 100 that we've got in, it only takes 15 minutes for this thing to come up to temperature, and then it will circulate over to the domestic hot water, and it hasn't been an issue. In your
Yeah.
case, you're just doing heating. Your domestic hot water is off from gas,
No,
excuse me,
it's
electricity.
Yeah.
You got a heat pump. So this is only going to come on when there's a call for heat,
Okay.
from fall till spring.
Right.
The only thing that you need to remember is when you open up this door to ring the bell and scrape off the pellet burner, don't have it open for more than 2 minutes. If you have this open more than 2 minutes, the computer will shut down, because there's a manometer in here and it's reading the pressure on the inside of the vessel. You've got fans going, and it wants to keep 0.02 over the atmospheric pressure around us. With the door open, you're equalizing it. It knows it. It'll shut it down, saying something ain't
When
right.
it shuts down, you have to hit the green start button all over again.
Exactly. No matter, anytime the unit shuts down, you reset it by shutting the green button off and depressing it back
Okay.
to the on position. If for some reason this gives you an over temp, your over temp button is right here.
Yeah.
It's a little white button.
Uh-huh.
You'll depress that button and it will allow the unit to restart.
Okay.
Okay, again, that's in the book. It will give you an error code
Right.
saying over temperature. In other words, maybe there was a call for heat for 5 minutes and it shut down, but this thing was going full bore, then it shut down.
Yeah.
With all that fire in there, it would, and you're not moving water, it can gain to 190, and 203 is what this goes off at.
Right, okay.
The one
does that
on the
happen
back-
often?
I've seen it happen once or twice.
Okay, so
And mostly on new startups.
Okay.
Because they're starting it and then they're shutting it right back off after they established the fire and
Right.
got a fire there. They weren't moving no water through it. And when you shut it down, you shut down the fans and everything. And those fans also keep just enough air on there to let those finish burning clean without creating overheating, because you got an exhaust fan. You do have a manual reset. If this thing gets over 210 degrees up there, that little red button's going to kick out on that Aquasat, and you'll have to reset it.
That's kind of like an overset that you would have on the
Truthfully, you're never going to have to worry about that. That's totally over-engineered. They don't realize that the unit comes through with a high temp already. So you got 2 high temps. And because that one's so far away from the unit, it'll never go on. There's a cleaning mechanism in here. It's already pre-programmed. It does it at 9 o'clock at night, and it'll probably do it 9 o'clock in the day. There's a set of springs that go down through all the holes. And there's connectors there's a motor right here with a camshaft that will lift the springs up and drop them. And what that's doing is cleaning all the tubes, sending all the ashes down to the bottom, so the auger in the bottom of this unit can pick it up and bring it into your ashes.
So the tubes are your heat exchange tubes that get
That's
cleaned
right.
off.
Exactly. The exhaust is going up, back down through the tubes, and then back up again. So it's a 3-pass system through those tubes, and there's springs inside of them that self-clean twice every 24 hours.
Is there any kind of alarm that tells you that you've had the door open for 2 minutes and you're reaching this? Does it beep at you or what?
No, it'll just shut down on you.
That's it. Okay.
Yep. Yeah. If I open this door and give it 2 minutes,
It'll shut
you'll
down.
see. You'll just hear the unit shut right
Okay.
down. Then it will bring up that error saying
Yeah.
low pressure.
Right.
Low pressure is either from a door open, maybe the burner isn't tight on there, or the exhaust fan isn't working. Because to have a certain amount of pressure in there, you need your fans going. Those are the 3 things. So it smells like it's ignited now. Yeah, see, it's just barely started. You want to take a look at that, sir? That's pretty normal right there. Okay. So I'm going to close this and then it will.
Thank you.
Yep. So obviously, when I push this on and it's coming up, there must be a call for heat somewhere here. So when this gets up to 140, it's going to start circulating.
Well, the insurance company, of course, they have to have a boiler inspector. He's going to be here at 11. I can show him this video and say, what do you need to know? Because I don't see really why we would have to fire it, but we'll find out. I don't, we can leave the heat down.
No, he won't. I've been through this a number of times. He's just going to look around and make sure that you've got that safety. You've got your relief valve on the back here.
Right.
You've got smoke. Everything's hooked up properly.
Right.
That's all that he wants to see.
Okay.
And truthfully, from here out is Brad Sharon, the fire marshal.
Right.
He's just concerned, make sure that what the rating of the boiler is, make
Yeah.
sure it's ASTM, which
Yeah.
it's all tagged right here. What the size of the boiler is. He wants to make sure there's a drain and that there's a low water cutoff.
Right.
So all those are in place for him to say will be a normal operating.
Good.
I don't see anything that he would not accept. Now, right now, you're smelling a little bit of smoke because we're on startup. You have a total cold chimney.
Okay.
This is only going to happen rarely. And then once that chimney established draft, you won't have to worry about it because it'll suck out through this barometric.
Right.
And the barometric damper is here for, we want to keep an O2 over the fire. And once you get that chimney all heated up, it's going to start pulling like a 0.05, a 0.06. This will keep it and maintain the pressure in here. So this is sucking from the room. And that's why we brought 6-inch air in so that you've got makeup air.
Right.
We want to equalize the pressure in this room. And sometimes, we'll know after the first year, sometimes we've found that 6 inches coming into this room is not enough because you've got other appliances that are vacuuming out. So if you've got exhaust fans that you've got on and you're over pulling your 31 inches coming in, it's going to pull backwards on this. And it'll actually pull smoke back down the chimney and out here. So that's where in the first year, after the first cleaning, we'll know if that's enough air or not.
Right.
That's a starting point that the factory tells us.
Well,
So far, it's only in one place we've had to add another air.
Yeah, and this is an electric hot water heater, and there isn't any exhaust fans nearby.
No, it just goes in and out, doesn't it?
It's a heat recovery unit.
Yep.
So it's just circulating air. It's drawing heat out of the ambient air temperature.
And we should probably keep this door closed at all times.
I agree. So that no fans out
That's
there
required
will.
to do that, I think,
It
by
is?
code.
Yeah, that's a fire door. It is required. I think that's got an automatic thing on it.
There's the man.
How's it going?
Hey. So see, your internal temperature is already up to 530 something degrees. That's the.
What's
you
the
saw-
operating temperature?
Operating temperature is another thing. It's 180 degrees is what you're set for.
The boiler water.
The boiler water set for 180 degrees.
Does
For,
it match the firebox temperature at all? Is there a correlation between the two?
no,
Approximately?
no, you're gonna see the combustion temperature go up to between 12 and 1500
Okay,
degrees.
yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing what it comes up to, and it's because of introducing that secondary air into
Well,
it.
that's a good burn. It means you're not going to have much waste.
Exactly. Exactly. So this is you're viewing the vital signs is all you're doing. I put the 4 most important vital signs up there, such as what's your boiler temperature right now? The internal water temperature is 75 degrees. What's the internal of right above your fire? That's 612 and rising. What state are you in? You're in a soft start. So in other words, you just went through ignition, you brought your pellets up onto your plate, you ignited them, your igniter shut down, and it went into a soft start, and it will do that for approximately 10 minutes. Then it will go up to a full bore. Fans are all on and trying to maintain 180 degrees. So say you're in 75.9. Now you're in, what do I want to say, your core temperature is 632, and your outside temperature is starting to walk right up there.
What is the bottom one?
The bottom one is the draft that I was talking about.
Okay.
When you open this door, that's the exhaust fan on the back. That's what that's pulling. That's because this is all new and there isn't any ashes in there. That's going to drop down to 80.
Is that in metric, that measurement? I mean...
No.
I don't know what that is. I can find it. I'm just curious.
It's the units of,
Probably in the manual.
yeah, it's how they measure the pressure.
Right, okay.
Over in Europe, they
Right,
use it
right.
for how you measure the pressure,
Right.
which is, they use a manometer. That's really it. I mean, the only maintenance is every time you empty out the ashes, you just want to ring your bell and scrape that down. If you look online, you will see the burner, and then you will see the heat exchanger above it, and sometimes you will get a black buildup right there of ashes. They call that a volcano. Every 2 months, you want to scrape that down, but they sent a notification saying just scrape it down and ring the bell every time you empty out the ashes. And you're keeping the internals cleaner, so it gives you that nice burn all the
Right.
time. And
Got
it's
it.
like a 96% burn.
Right.
It's amazing. These have better emission, 10 times the emission standards that California had adopted, which are European.
Good. All right. Too bad we didn't bring any popcorn. Well, thank you.
No, not a problem.